Tom Cole from the UWL, the Ultimate Woods Ball League, and you are the ultimate ref for the USPL. How are you doing tonight, Tom?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty darn good. Double checking that everybody there on the boards can hear you, because it should be patched through correctly, but just double checking. If not, he's way quiet. So what we're going to do, guys and gal, is we're going to switch this out. We're going to go ghetto style. So you will be able to hear myself and Tom well, but you won't be able to, unfortunately, hear the folks from the Peanut Gallery quite as well. Sorry, guys. They're like, oh, well, we haven't really worried about that all night. Whatever. There you go. So, Tom, let's... How is the USPL for you? I mean, this was the first event out of the gate. It was sort of like you guys really marking your territories, taking over the reins from the NPPL. That's a lot of pressure, a lot of big boots to fill. It seems, from my end and from reading the blogosphere and everybody else, that everybody really enjoyed it. And does that sort of take the pressure off you, or how do you think it went on your side of the gates or the fence, as it were?
I thought it went amazingly well. You know, they brought me in as ultimate, but I felt like the judging staff that it came over from the NPPL and Ron Kilborn's Bushwhackers, they did a good job. So I really didn't end up doing as much as I thought I would be doing. I was still stressed the whole time, but it was actually pretty easy.
Now, as the ultimate ref, it's your job to do what exactly?
I basically was the final decision on any calls on the field that may have been controversial. I was also there to kind of coach the referees to make sure they were following the rules or making a good call and in good positions to make good calls, and also mitigating with the teams when they got angry. A lot of it's just customer service, trying to make people understand why the call was made that way, or just making sure the customer understood what happened.
So you're sort of there to put out the fires. Now, it seemed like the event went really well from our point of view. Does that mean that you guys, I know from an event standpoint, that's what you really strive to do? It's sort of like Cirque du Soleil, where everything looks effortless and it looks absolutely beautiful, but you know the people have trained long and hard for it to make it look like that. Was it the same thing going on where you guys were like ducks? You look calm and collected on the surface, but you're just sort of paddling like hell underneath the water? Or what was it like?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of paddling under the water, no doubt. I mean, for an event, it actually went really, really smooth. I think the pros not playing for a lot of money helped. But yeah, I mean, it went really well. I mean, yeah, there was obviously incidences after almost every game where, you know, we had to have some type of debate with the two captains or the players or the refs. But, I mean, that's to be expected. Almost every event like that has those types of arguments. But no one left mad, in my opinion, from what I saw. So it ended up being pretty easy.
That's beautiful. Now, we have a chatter on the boards here by the name of Gary Baum, who says, I think the USPL media liaison did a great job. So you might want to let that guy know, whoever that guy might be.
Perfect. Who did a good job?
The USPL media advisor, a.k.a.
Got it.
Gary Baum.
Yeah, that guy did a great job, whoever that is.
Yeah. Gary just wanted to give himself a little pat on the back for doing a great job and letting you know that he did a great job. And I agree. And you guys, Sunday media Gary agrees as well. So
I love him so much he's mad.
Gary's a one-man army.
He is. It's absolutely amazing the thing that the man can do and still feel like he's not really doing much. He's like, oh, I just take photos. It's like saying the brain surgeon's like, I just cut stuff, you know? The same thing with you too. I mean, a lot of work went into the USPL. Now, it's not like you guys slowly ramped up into it. You jumped out of the gates, full bore, no looking back. I mean, you guys bought up a lot of the assets from Pacific, a lot of the names, and there was even a discussion as to whether you might just say F it and take over with just the NPPL name itself.
I'm losing. I didn't hear any of that.
A good rant.
That was a very nice rant.
Yeah.
But
that was a good rant.
Yeah, there was talk that you might actually that the USPL might take over, and since they bought the rights to the name. Okay, that's right, because I'm using the microphone for you, and I'm using the internal microphone for the people at home. So word that
Now I hear you great.
yeah, the USPL might use the name of the NPPL because you bought the rights to it.
Yeah, there was some push for that. I mean, when we went to the auction for the NPPL, Chuck Hench actually ended up buying the NPPL name. And I personally felt that the NPPL name meant a lot to a lot of people and that maybe they should reuse it. So there's a lot of debate amongst the owners group there about what they're going to do, and I'm not sure if they've made up their mind yet.
Yeah, I think just with the sucky video game alone should be enough to tell them no.
Yeah.
Now you
I mean, it's tough to go ahead.
You aren't just doing the USPL though. You're doing two huge new leagues this year in the world of paintball: the USPL and the UWL, which is the Ultimate
Yes.
Woods Ball League. Now tell us a little bit about the Ultimate Woods Ball League. You're not just the head ref for this. You are the main man for this.
Yeah, I'm one of the owners. We have about 4 owners for the UWL, and basically, I've been involved with woods ball for a long time. I was president of the NPPL during the woods ball era, and I really think the industry might have made a little bit of a bad turn there when we started pushing all of our marketing and advertising towards the speedball type format. I've always felt that way, and with the NPPL going under and me kind of moving away from my pro side of playing paintball, I really wanted to get back to our roots and see if we can't get some new players interested in tournament paintball. So in the past couple of years, we played some SPL events, and we kind of liked a little bit of their format, so we decided to do a little new twist on it and kind of get back to our roots.
Now the UWL is it's not just like woods ball. There's a lot of stuff that's into this. It's not just saying, "Oh, we're going to play a game of capture the flag, so come out and play, and you might win some money." Yeah, watch out for the branches, and you can wear an EWC. There's a squirrel. You've got restrictions with markers, with gear and names, and all sorts of pretty freaking cool stuff going on.
It's cool and complicated. I mean, we're trying to think about the player a little bit with a lot of our designs, like the restricted division, where we call it the skills division. You have to use 7 out of your 10 guys have to use a non-electronic gun. And that's just, once again, trying to get back to those roots where people don't have to spend $1,500 on a marker to compete and don't have to shoot a whole bunch of paint. We're just trying to make it affordable for everyone. And there's a large contingent of the paintball population that wants to use one of those slow rate-of-fire guns. So we're trying to make something that's available to them.
So from a non-electric, does that mean that I could just sort of take the battery out of my marker and just sort of use that? You know, we talking about.
You could if the gun will work, but I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, it's more like an automag, an autococker, a Chipman, a spider gun, obviously the pre-electronic guns. You can use a pump gun, any of those non-electronic markers.
There's a big difference in markers just from a non-electric, like a Spider TL Plus to an autococker, too. So.
Sure.
But.
Yeah, and I mean, back when we first started playing, and a lot of the industry icons started playing, that's when we were using. We were using pump guns, we were using autocockers and automags, and so that's when I think a lot of the people that have been huge in the industry got hooked, and we're just trying to maybe recapture that a little bit and trying to get more people hooked.
And it's not that just you want people to use a pump gun. You sort of have specific roles for people to use pump guns and other markers aside from the electric versus non-electric kind.
Yeah, we'll use the pump gun guy as an example. We added the pump gun guy, and we call him a sniper. Every team is allowed to have a sniper, and for that, they get to use an 11th guy, so the sniper ends up being a free guy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to track that pump guy's stats against every other pump guy in the country, so that if you don't want to use an ego or something, you can actually get rated against another guy using similar equipment on the East Coast, in Michigan or whatever, and kind of see how you rank against everybody else. And we've done that with all different guns. We have an electronic gun. We have a captain position. We have a ranger position, which means he's using a non-electronic gun like a Tippmann or a BT. So that's how we're running it.